Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into this video in which we will look at finding the equation of a line. So unless the line is perfectly vertical, its equation can be written in the form y equals mx plus b, where m is the gradient and b is the y-intercept. So if I want to find the equation of the line, there's really only two steps. I just need to find m, the gradient, and b, the y-intercept. The only thing that differs from question to question is how you find m and b. So to find the gradient, we use the 2-point formula for when we're given 2 points, like in this question. We also need to know about parallel and perpendicular lines. So two lines are parallel if and only if their gradient is the same, and two lines are perpendicular if and only if their gradients multiply to -1. So we can use these two facts to find gradients as well. So after you found the gradient, you need to find the y-intercept. We do that by substituting the gradient and x and y, which come from a point, into the equation y equals mx plus b. So that's why it's really important that we find the gradient first. All right, let's look at some examples. Firstly, let's find the equation of the line passing through -3, 7 and 3, 9. So my first step is going to be to find the gradient. So when I have 2 points, I use the 2-point formula. y2 means y-coordinate of the second point, y1 means y-coordinate of the first point, and so on. So it's y-coordinate of the second point minus y-coordinate of the first point, all divided by x-coordinate of the second point minus x-coordinate of the first point. So of course 9 minus 7 is 2, 3 subtract -3 is 6, I get 2/6 or a third. The gradient is a third. So now I need to find the y-intercept. What I do is I take my equation y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to substitute. I'm going to substitute m for 1/3. And then I need to substitute a value for x and y. So I choose them from a point. It doesn't matter which of these points I use. So let's just use this one because it has no negative numbers. So x is always listed first. I'm going to substitute x for 3 and y for 9. So I get y equals m times x plus b. Now, of course, a third times 3 is just 1. So really, I have here 9 equals 1 plus b. That, of course, means that b equals 8. So the equation is y equals mx plus b, which was 8. Then I'm done. I've got the equation of the line. So let's look at this one now. So I'm finding the equation of a line that passes through -2, 5 that is perpendicular to this line here. So we know that perpendicular lines have gradients that multiply to -1. Well, what is the gradient of this line? That's not easy to see, to read off. In order to find the gradient of this line, I need to make y the subject. It's only when you're in the form y equals mx plus b that the coefficient of x is the gradient. So I can rearrange this to make y the subject. So what I'd do to achieve that is I'd subtract 5x from both sides, and then I would divide each side by 2. So I get y equals 10 divided by 2, and then minus 5 divided by 2. The gradient of this line here is -5 on 2. So the gradient of any line that's perpendicular must be a number, so that when you multiply it by -5 on 2, you get an answer of -1. So the quick way of doing that is the gradient of the second line must be -1 over the gradient of the first line. This is true when and only when the lines are perpendicular. So the gradient of any line perpendicular is -1 over -5 on 2. When you do -1 over a fraction, you simply flip the fraction and change its sign. So any line perpendicular to this line must have gradient 2/5. So I've actually done step 1 and found the gradient. Now I need to find the y-intercept. So to do that, I'm going to take my equation y equals mx plus b. I'm going to substitute m for 2 over 5, and then I substitute x and y from the point. So x is -2, y is 5. So -2 times 2 over 5 is just -0.8. So adding 0.8 to both sides, I get 5.8 equals b. So the equation of the line I'm after is y equals mx plus b. And then we're done. All right, let's now find the equation of the line parallel to this one that passes through this point. So once again, we can't just read off the gradient because we don't have y by itself. But we can easily rearrange this equation to get y by itself. I could subtract 3x from both sides. I'd get -y is 9 minus 3x. Now, I can change the sign of this side as long as I change the sign of everything on the other side. Essentially, we're timesing each side by -1. So I get -9 plus 3x. The gradient of this line here is +3. So any line parallel to this line will also have gradient of 3. So when I'm finding the equation of the line parallel to this, I have found gradient is 3. I have done step 1. So step 2 is to find b. So I'm going to take my equation y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to substitute m for 3. And I substitute x and y from the point I was given. So once again, I'm going to substitute x for -2 and y for 5. So I have 5 equals -6 plus b. Of course, to get b by itself, I just add 6 to both sides. So I get b equals 11. The equation I'm after is therefore y equals mx plus b. So these two lines, this one and this one, will be parallel, and this line goes through that point. So again, all you need to do is find m, find b. It differs between questions how you do it, but to find the equation of a line, you're just finding the gradient and the y-intercept. All right, thank you so much for tuning into this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.